Hey, Lions family, listen close. Because the ground just shifted under our feet in Allen Park, and it changes how this team will fight in the trenches over the next 3 weeks. I'm coming to you with something fresh, timely, and bigger than a routine injury note. This is one of those under-the-radar moments that, if we read it right and act with the discipline this staff preaches, can stabilize the left interior and keep our Super Bowl ambition on schedule. This is Lions News Fan Report, your home for rapid updates and deep analysis on our beloved Detroit Lions. And today I'm walking you through what changed inside the building, what it signals for the rotations up front, how the staff plans to ramp a rookie the right way, and why the next 21 days are going to test our identity as a program built on development, detail, and nasty grown man football. I'll break down the timeline, the mechanics, the depth chart rip, and the realistic scenarios that could play out on game day if the ramp goes well. So stick with me, because the reveal matters and the context matters even more. First, the vibe. After a tough physical loss where our starting left guard went down, the conversation in the facility tightened around solutions that don't betray our standard. Nobody is panicking. Nobody is promising miracles. What I felt today was a staff doubling down on process getting pads on, stacking smart reps, and refusing to let emotions write the depth chart. And yeah, there's a rookie who just re-entered the picture, a player the coaches have kept in their plans even while he's been invisible to the outside world since spring. If you've been watching this regime long enough, you know what that means. Trust the ramp, protect the player, protect the team. The sequence of events matters. Back in May, a knee setback wiped out an entire on-ramp for one of our interior prospects. You didn't see a snap in OTAs, never took a rep in training camp, and hit the regular season on the physically unable to perform list. That's the kind of timeline that can erase a rookie year if you mishandle it. But the staff never framed it like that. The message was consistent. Get healthy, then build the base from zero, then let practice tell the truth. Meanwhile, our depth plan took a punch. The starting left guard, who already had his own delayed path into the league last year, suffered a break that forced the room to reshuffle. The tackle depth behind him wasn't positioned to bail anyone out either. Another young piece landed on injured reserve after a knee issue of his own, and there's no short-term relief coming from that side. So the pressure to find answers inside got real. And this is where it gets interesting, because the coaches didn't reach for the shiny headline or the panic signing. They turned inward and started a clock. Before I tell you whose clock, I want to underline how this staff communicates about young linemen. They don't sell rookies. They context them. One comment today said everything. The player in question is like a baby deer learning to stand legs real. Tools real. Instincts real. But the game at this level moves like traffic on Woodward. And you don't throw someone into that chaos without teaching them how to merge. That's not disrespect. That's developmental honesty. It's also a tell. They see traits, they see a future, but they're not going to mortgage protection for feel-good. That sentiment fits our identity. We want violence and poise, not panic. Now, let's talk mechanics, because the rules matter here. When a club opens the practice window from reserve PUP, the player gets 21 days to be evaluated in practice. He can take individual, he can take teamwork, he can put on pads and get into the noise. At any point in that window, if the staff believes the baseline conditioning, footwork timing, strike timing, recognition meets the standard, the club can move him to the 53. If not, the window closes and he stays stashed. That's the lever the Lions just pulled, and the date they chose to pull it signals calm, not chaos. It says, we're locking in on development and giving ourselves runway to decide. So who is it? It's the rookie interior offensive lineman with more than 3,000 college snaps in the bank. A fifth-round pick this spring, who the staff has studied carefully even while he's been out of the frame. It's Miles Frazier, and the 21-day clock started on Wednesday, November 5th. That's the headline moment. But the reason it matters is everything wrapped around it. The timing after the left guard injury, the lack of immediate help at tackle, the confidence that reps, not hype, will determine when and how he contributes. Let me paint the ramp. Week 1 of the window is foundation week. Rhythm work, movement skill, inside hand placement, posture under pressure, and relearning how to generate strike power without overextending. You get him into one-on-one south. Let him feel NFL interior torque again. Then you track foot speed and recovery against twist games. Week 2 is trust week. Pads and team, collision stamina, how he absorbs bull-to-swim counters, how he recognizes simulated pressure when the mugger in the A-gap bails, and most importantly, whether he can anchor without grabbing. If the data and the eye test are aligned, Week 3 becomes decision week. Do you activate now, protect him for spot duty, or ride the full window and keep stacking? That's what the calendar just said in. Now, let's speak to Frazier's college tape told a story of availability, reps, and a sturdy base when he keeps his feet under him. The coaching point I keep hearing is reps not as filler, but as currency. He hasn't played football in a structured way since draft weekend. The staff wants to see how his eyes track movement across the front in live periods, how quickly he can reset after losing the first phase of a rush, and whether his punch timing matches the tempo of NFL 3-techs who win with leverage instead of pure speed. That's why the baby deer metaphor hits so hard today. It's about legs under you, balance under stress, and staying upright when chaos hits the pocket. Now layer in the team content. With the starting left guard sidelined, the interior leadership leans on veterans who have seen every front in the book and a franchise center who sets protection with a calm cadence. The right side is rock solid. The question is how you insulate the left interior without overexposing a rookie who's just re-entered the building. One answer is strategic. Keep the run menu honest with duo and inside zone that let the guard work half-man leverage and drive no need to. Reinvent the system. You can also lighten the mental load with play-action protections that turn the front and let him find a landmark rather than chase the most athletic 3-tech on the field snap after snap. And because the head coach has hands on the call sheet, the staff can choreograph early series to settle the pocket-fast game. Under center keepers, well-timed screens to keep defenders from teeing off on the AB gaps while the rookie refines his anchor. There's another layer, rotation. If Frazier shows he's ready for a controlled role, you don't ask him to play 70 snaps out of the gate. You pair him with a swing interior who has banked reps. You protect him with center slides on obvious pass downs. And you set a pitch count that builds confidence. And if the window shows he's not ready yet, you don't break him. You stash him, keep him in the program, and you keep developing a player with starter traits for later in the year or next camp. Meanwhile, tackle depth is not the emergency parachute. The young reserve on IR is still weeks out of even opening his own window. That's why this interior on-ramp is so important. It's timely, it's logical, and it lines up with how this staff has brought rookies along before. Remember the left guard's own delayed entrance last year? He missed time, then hit the field after week 12 and grew fast because practice stacked and the system supported him. That's the blueprint the coaches referenced again today. Not copy, but a reminder that development in this building is real when the player buys in and the reps are pointed. This is where I want to hear from you. Do you want a fast-track activation the moment the eye test looks passable? Or would you rather see a conservative 3-week build that ends with a game day elevation only if the metrics are screaming green? Drop it below, because this is the tension of a contender. Urgency versus stewardship. Me? I'm bullish, and I'll tell you why. The way the staff talked today gave me confidence they're not seduced by the short-term headline. Opening the window right now creates optionality. It buys time to evaluate Frazier against our looks, to let him feel the speed again, and to map protections that help him succeed if and when he's activated. It also sends a message to the room. We develop our own. We don't flinch when injuries hit, and we don't abandon our standard just because the calendar gets loud. If the ramp holds and the knee responds, this could be the quiet move that steadies the left side and lets the offense keep playing on schedule while the room heals. Here's my concise read as we close. A 21-day practice window for a rookie guard is not firework. But in Detroit's system, it's a lever for winning November-controlled reps, smart protection help, and a decision time to performance, not panic. I'm optimistic we'll see a player who looks more ready in Week 3 than in Week 1. And if activation comes, it'll come with a plan that respects the pocket and our quarterback. If you appreciated the clarity, tap subscribe and keep notifications on Lions News Fan Report is locked on every ramp, every roster move, every trench battle, with quick hits when news breaks and deep dives when context matters. We ride together because this is our team, our standard, and our season.